happened, and why were you a patient?
Uh, uh, I came to Phoenix Children's Hospital when I was 14 years old because I went to a friend's house after a skate park, and it was kind of a misunderstanding, but I was called into a room, and when I turned into the room, I was shot with a 12-gauge shotgun. I was blown into the wall. I was up for about 45 seconds, and then I passed out from the pain. But it was a traumatic experience for me.
Well, yeah, a traumatic experience for everybody. I think a traumatic experience for the room is hearing you tell that story. We didn't know the gun was loaded. It was an accident. It was one of those things that happened, and at that moment, it was a crisis. It was an emergency. You were brought here to Phoenix Children's Hospital, and I understand that you had lost so much blood at that point that it was just, let's keep Ethan alive. We've got to get Ethan alive first to make sure, and then we can worry about everything after that.
Yeah, well, I was shot in the femoral artery, so I was losing my blood fast. Like, I think I probably would have lost my blood in about 2 to 3 minutes. The femoral artery is a lot of blood, but yeah, the main thing the doctors wanted me was just to survive. They didn't worry about the leg at the time. They just wanted me to live. That's the amazing thing about them. They just cared about my life. That was the main thing. And then once they got that down, he's going to survive, he's stable. Now we'll save his leg. And they did a really good job.
The number that I'm reading about your story, 20 doctors were around you when you walked in, right? I mean, I doubt you remember it. Mom remembers it. Mom, Christine remembers it. And we'll talk to Mom in a minute. 20 doctors were surrounding you at that moment.
That's a lot of doctors. I can remember blurs. I remember being completely surrounded. But I heard that there was layers and layers. It was a lot of doctors and nurses. Just everyone that could do some things there.
Your parents are here, Rick and Christine. Of course, your siblings as well, Madison and your brother Zach, your sister Madison, your brother Zach. Your mom Christine is sitting next to you, and 20 doctors. Is that about right?
Yeah, the room was full. It was literally standing room only. They found 2 little chairs for my husband and I to sit down, and it was completely full of staff.
Scary.
It was terrifying. It was the worst of it.
I can't imagine anything else would come close. Once they knew that Ethan was going to be okay and that he was going to make it, now it's about let's save the leg. Let's make sure that Ethan's in a position where he can be a normal 16-year-old boy, right?
Right, and the surgeons had their work cut out for them. I think they spent like 6 hours just trying to get the blood flow to stop because of where it was and because it was the femoral artery. And I think we were in probably about 7:40, and we didn't hear that he was even gonna. We didn't really know he was gonna make it the first night. I mean, they came in at about 12:30 and gave us a rundown of how they had gotten the blood supposed to stop. But they were realistic when they told us they weren't sure if he was going to make it.
Once you knew that he was going to make it, and medical induced coma for 4 days, if I remember right, then started the physical therapy process, and then started that. And I'm sure for you probably have many. You say you don't remember the night. I'm sure you have many memories of basically learning how to walk again, right, Ethan?
Yes, tons. There was a lot of goals when I was learning how to walk. The hallways at Phoenix Children's Hospital, they're all colorful, and I really like that, especially for the kids. They're cool, I love it. Everything's all bright and shiny.
And you got to know those halls very well, didn't you?
Yes, we would set it by squares. My dad, I was in like crutches or something, a walker, and we would walk from one square to the next, and each day by day, I would get farther and farther until I walked hallways, and I would walk buildings. I would just walk around, see nurses. It was really nice. Some of them were like, "You're walking," and I'm like, I'm walking around now.
And you walk okay now? Everything's okay now with in terms of physical therapy?
Yes, I'm done with physical therapy. I might go back, but I'm walking pretty good. My parents make sure I walk good. When they're walking behind me, they walk straight. They're like, okay.
Parents are paid.
Yeah.
It's okay. Answer that. That's okay. It's fine. It's fine. The look on your face, I think said enough. The numbers, Christine, like we say, 20 doctors in the room working on Ethan immediately. 40 days he spent here at Phoenix Children's Hospital. What would you say about the work of the staff that was done when your son was brought in initially, half. For that month and a half, basically, that ensued, as he was relearning how to walk?
They put in a lot of hard work on Ethan, and each and every surgeon that worked on him, because he had 14 surgeries, so I literally think we got to try out every surgeon that is available in the hospital.
14?
14, yeah. So the most important thing, I think, what helped us, keep our sanity is like every morning you have like a team staffing. I don't know what it's called. They have a specific name for it. But every morning at 8 o'clock, everybody would gather and they'd talk about, what are we going to do for Ethan today? They'd explain to me what was going on and why. Because a lot of times I didn't understand. And they just made sure that the parents were part of it, part of the recovery. The doctors, it wasn't like a regular doctor-patient relationship in adult hospitals. It was like, these were parents helping my child. It was a parent to a parent telling me, this is what we're going to do next, this is what you can expect, and we're going to help you through it.
Last question for both of you, and I want you both to answer. What, if you've got one message for anybody who's listening right now on either 92.3 KTAR or Arizona Sports 620, why their donation matters and why this place needs their donation, what would be that message?
If you donate here, you're going to be making so many kids happy. It's a great hospital, but when you step out of this hospital, you feel like you just won the lottery. It's amazing. It's a great feeling. I love it. I love getting out of the hospital.
Christine?
I was just going to say that we are really fortunate to have this hospital in our city, and the more donations you give, make this hospital able to expand and get the things they need to do as far as like an extra trauma base and stuff. And so the person you're helping could be yourself. Hopefully not, but you just never know. Or a family member or a friend, but you're helping kids get better.
Ethan, you've got a terrific attitude. You're all smiles. You've got enthusiasm just like oozing from your pores. It's been really enlightening talking to you. Thank you very much for telling your story. It's painful to hear. Everybody kind of gasped when we heard it, but it takes a lot of courage to be able to tell that story like this on the radio and hear it from her. We really appreciate you stopping by.
Thanks for having me. I love being here.
That's great. That's great.